Newsday BBC World Service. Now, are you fed up with the area where you live not having enough cycle lanes? Well, 50 climate activists in Toulouse in France took matters into their own hands by painting a DIY cycle lane onto one of the main roads in the city. They say it's the only way to make politicians realise more needs to be done to help this city, which often suffers from severe congestion. And they wanted, of course, to become more environmentally friendly. It didn't last long, though. Let's talk to one of those involved, Melanie Salone. Welcome to Newsday. I'm looking at video footage and photos of you painting this. I mean, it was a very organised affair. Tell us what you did.
So on Friday night, we drew a cycle lane. We were about 50 activists that day, members of ANV COP21 Toulouse. And so we gathered in the center of Toulouse. So the purpose of this action was to denounce the inaction of the city council regarding cyclists and the environment, because we think there is a lack of cycling infrastructures in town and in the suburb.
Yeah, so you actually took a big cardboard stencil down there, didn't you? And started painting.
Yeah, so we had about 30 pencils. And white painting, and we painted for about 20 minutes.
All right. Yeah. And how long could you paint for? Was that after 20 minutes someone came and saw what you were up to, did they?
No, that day we were very lucky. The last time we did this kind of action, which was in September, we were stopped straight away by the police because there were cameras. But this time there was no police whatsoever. So we were very lucky. We were not interpolated by the police.
Yeah, okay. And you painted quite a decent length of lane there, didn't you?
Yes, it was 200 meters altogether. So we needed to be a lot of people, but we managed to find approximately 50 to 70 people to help us.
Is this a lane that people then used? Did they actually think it was a lane in the time it was there?
Yes, so we went there the next day and the day after, and I could see people going through with bikes, and especially children. So we were very, very happy to see this, even though the lane was not really straight and properly painted.
It's not there now, is it? They've painted over it.
Yeah, it lasted approximately 3 days, and yesterday it was not there anymore.
Okay, if I do a search on my search engine of choice and I come up with a website, any website, this one's called Freewheeling France, and I get to Toulouse, it says to me, as an outsider, that Toulouse is a beautiful city and cycle-friendly. UK cyclists will be amazed at the give and take between pedestrians and cyclists. They coexist harmoniously. What are you so disappointed in your local council? Because the rest of the world, Toulouse is a pretty, from the outside, cycle-friendly city.
Yeah, indeed, there are some cycling lanes, of course, but they are not everywhere, and sometimes it can be dangerous for cyclists to go through certain streets of Toulouse. The streets are really narrow, and sometimes you have, well, not sometimes, but often you have to stop to let cars pass. But this action is more to denounce the inaction of politicians regarding the predominant position of cars in town. We think that cars can be harmful in the long term, in terms of CO2 emissions, in terms of the air pollution they create, and they're not securing cycling paths in town.
Okay, well, you've certainly drawn attention to it. Melanie Salone, thank you very much for joining us. You painted that cycle lane. You found some very funny pictures on it.
I have been so enjoying myself. A simple search of world's worst cycle lanes will have you in stitches. My favourite one, this beautiful cycle lane. Oh dear, they've put a bin in the middle of it. Cyclists, they suffer, apparently.